All right, we're gonna get into something that's, well, a little uncomfortable. It's an idea that gets right to the heart of why so many of us feel stuck. And just so we're clear, this isn't about motivation. This is an explanation. We're going to look at the actual architecture of what it means to be average.
Let's just be honest. You do. You think you're special. Most of us do, right? We have this built-in belief that we're a little different, a bit smarter, maybe more self-aware than the people around us. It's a totally natural, totally human feeling.
But, and here's where it gets real, we have to look at the evidence. If your day-to-day actions, your gut reactions, even the patterns of your thoughts, if they all pretty much mirror the crowd,
I mean, it's a tough question to ask yourself, but the logic is kind of hard to escape, isn't it? If the input is the same, the output is going to be the same. And this all points to one single word, one idea that really defines the entire problem. That's it. That's the word, predictability. See, being average isn't about a lack of talent or not having enough desire. At its core, it is a state of being predictable. It means your choices, your reactions, your entire life path, it can all be mapped out because you're following a script you didn't even know you were handling.
So again, I want to be super clear about what we're doing here. I'm not here to hype you up or sell you on some 5-step dream. My goal is just to explain, calmly and clearly, the system that builds and maintains this state of average, a lot of times without you even noticing. And hey, if this starts to feel a little uncomfortable, good. That means you're starting to wake up to it. Nobody wakes up one morning and thinks, you know what, I think I'll choose to be average today. It's just not a conscious decision. It is something you are trained into, step by step. So let's break down how this programming actually works. Think back to when you were a kid. It all starts with this unlimited imagination, right? Endless curiosity. But then, slowly, the system starts to introduce rules. You get rewarded, you get gold stars for giving the correct answers, for fitting neatly into the box. And you get punished, maybe not physically, but socially, for deviating, for being weird. And over years and years of this, that external pressure, it becomes internal. And this quote just nails the endgame of this whole process. The fear of being judged, the fear of looking stupid, the fear of standing out, it all becomes automatic. You basically become your own prison guard, making sure you never stray too far from that predictable, well-trodden path. Now, you have to ask, why is this trap so incredibly effective? It's because it's not a painful trap. In fact, it's the exact opposite. The trap is baited with the one thing human beings are biologically wired to hunt for: comfort. And this right here is a massively important distinction. Most people think comfort and safety are the same thing. They are not, at all. Comfort is stagnation, it's familiarity, it's predictability. But real safety, actual safety, that comes from growth and resilience. And you can only build those things by facing what's unfamiliar. So this is the bottom line, the crucial takeaway. That moment you start to feel uncertain, that feeling of, whoa, I don't know what's gonna happen next. That's not a warning sign. That is the price of admission. That feeling is the cost of a chance to escape. Most people feel it, panic, and run right back to what's predictable, mistaking the feeling of progress for the feeling of danger.
And the comfort cage we live in today, wow, it's a work of art. It's not built with iron bars, it's built with infinite scrolling. Our attention is deliberately fragmented by a non-stop fire hose of content and opinions. We're kept incredibly busy, constantly stimulated, but we're completely undirected. We end up mistaking the act of consuming information for making actual progress.
Okay, so what happens when people do get that little nudge, that feeling that they need to break free? Well, they usually grab onto the most common and unfortunately the most flawed ideas about how to actually do it. Let's talk about the biggest myths that keep people stuck.
You know this one. We all know this one. It's the default advice for everything. Our culture worships the grind. And look, effort is great. It's necessary. But it is not the solution by itself. There are millions and millions of people who work incredibly hard and they stay in the exact same spot for years.
And here's why that work harder advice is such a trap. There is a world of difference between effort and leverage. Effort is just running faster on the hamster wheel. You're working in the system. Leverage is about changing your position within that system. Effort burns you out and makes you replaceable. Leverage, on the other hand, makes you essential and, eventually, it frees you. This is a big pivot. We're moving from the external myth of hard work to the real internal prison. The single biggest thing holding people back isn't a lack of effort. It's the identity that they are desperately, subconsciously trying to protect. This question, this is the quiet fear that paralyzes almost everyone. See, the fear isn't just about failing at some task. It's about the potential death of who you think you are right now. Most people would rather be unfulfilled in an identity they recognize than risk failing and becoming someone they don't know yet.
So, we've taken apart the programming. We've looked at the cage. We've busted the myths. Where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us with the only tool that can actually make a difference. The only thing that can facilitate a real escape. Pure, honest awareness. First things first, we have to completely redefine this word. Average isn't something you are. It's not a permanent brand on your forehead. It is simply the final cumulative result of 1,000 tiny, often subconscious choices that you make every single day.
It's every time you had a gut instinct and you talked yourself out of it. It's every difficult conversation you pushed off until tomorrow. It's every small moment where you chose the comfortable, predictable option over the courageous, uncertain one. Each choice seems like no big deal on its own, but you stack them up, day after day, and they literally build the walls of your reality.
And this is the paradox of awareness, isn't it? The second you truly realize that your life is the result of your choices, that feeling of responsibility can feel heavy. That's a lot to take on. But it's also the source of all your power. Because if your choices created the reality you're in now, that means new choices can create a new one.
So let's just end on the honest truth here. Escaping the gravitational pull of average is not guaranteed, it's not easy, and it is definitely not quick. But the moment you become aware of the system, the moment you start to see your own choices with total clarity, escape stops being a fantasy and it becomes possible. And for the person who truly wants to change, possible is all you need.